Hi, I'm Scott Meister, and I thought I would create this video to share the workflow that I use to pass the QuickBooks Desktop Advanced Certification Test. I became eligible to take this test on November 25th, 2015, and passed the test on December 4th, 2015. So the specifics of this test may have changed since I took it. The test I took had 7 modules with their own test, and I had to pass each test to achieve the advanced status. A passing grade of 80% or higher on each test was required, and I could only take each test 4 times. Additionally, Intuit provided a PDF training guide for each module as well as video training. I read online that this test was challenging for some, and I decided to incorporate what I read along with my own ideas to create a workflow with the intention of passing this test the first time. So let's take a look. Step 1. I saved each of the PDF training guides to my computer. Step 2. I printed each test. This sounds easy enough, but the problem is there isn't an easy way to print these tests. There is no print button. So I used Snagit screen capture software and ended up using the custom scroll function under the advanced settings seen here, as the regular scroll function didn't work. Custom scroll worked for the majority of the questions, but for whatever reason there were a few questions that the custom scroll function couldn't pick up. So I had to make multiple screen captures for those individual questions. Once the screens from each question from each test were captured, I printed them all. An easy way to do this in Snagit Editor is to go to the Library tab, select the screen captures you want to print, right-click, and select Print Multiple Images as seen here. This whole process took much longer than what I had expected, at just over an hour. Step 3. I organized the questions into test packets per module. Step 4. I matched the training guide topics with the test questions. For example, let's say Test 1 has 5 questions and the PDF training guide for Test 1 has 4 topics. I read each question of Test 1 and determined which topic of the PDF training guide was being tested for each question. So for this example, Question 1 tested Topic 4 of the training guide. Question 2 tested Topic 1. Question 3 tested Topic 4. Question 4 tested Topic 3. And Question 5 tested Topic 2. Then I wrote the topic number on the test question. I did this for each question for each test. Step 5. I used a 2-monitor system to watch the training video, read the PDF training guide, and answer the questions on the online test. On the first monitor, I had the video training open in one tab and the test open in another tab. On the second monitor, I had the PDF training guide open. Using a second monitor greatly improved my efficiency as I didn't have to continually open and close windows. The topics in the PDF training guide are in the same order as the topics in the video trainings, so I answered the questions in order of the topics. This allowed me to watch the video from beginning to end while answering the questions. If I didn't have the question answered before the video moved to the next topic, I stopped the video and looked in the PDF training guide for the answer. So using the previous example from Step 4, I answered Question 2 first, then Question 5, then Question 4, and then Questions 1 and 3. In addition to answering the questions on the online test, I answered the questions on the printed copy of the test. Also, I wrote down the page number of the PDF training guide where I found the information, as well as the slide number and the approximate time where I found the information in the video. Step 6. Prior to submitting the answers, I double-checked my answers on the online test with the answers on the printed test, made changes if needed, and then submitted the test. Step 7. I repeated steps 5 and 6 as needed. In the event I needed to retake a test, I had all my previous answers right in front of me with references to the training PDF and training video. Here are some additional tips that helped me while taking the test. If I had a problem finding information in the PDF training guide, I used the find function, which is Control F, and searched for the keyword or keywords. If there were multiple steps to a question, I crossed off the steps as I completed them on my printed test. I found it best to use the same year of QuickBooks. For some questions, a QuickBooks file is given. Initially, I was using 2016, but the files given were 2015. So the file would be updated to 2016, which took more time. So I stopped using 2016 and switched to 2015, and it saved a bunch of time. As you can see, this is a detailed and organized workflow. It worked for me, and I hope it works for you too. Make sure to like this video, add questions and comments below, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.